In the Campaign 2016 segment tonight, the first presidential debate. We are just 6 days away from that big event, and both campaigns are in their final sprints for preparation. The stakes obviously could not be higher, especially given the recent tightening in the polls. And the person getting a lot of credit for Donald Trump's gains is campaign manager Kellyanne Conway. Even the left is reluctantly giving her praise, such as during an interview she did with Bill Maher on Friday.
Now you're perhaps the most important person in the world because you seem to be the only person who's been able to tame Donald Trump. Many have tried, but only you were able to pull that sword out of the stone.
Joining us now from Trump's campaign headquarters in New York, Kellyanne Conway. So what is it? You're pulling the sword from the stone, Kellyanne.
No, it's very nice of Bill Maher and you, Bret Baier, to say that. But let me repeat to you what I said to Bill Maher on his show, which is it's Donald Trump who deserves all of the credit. This is his campaign. This is his movement. He's the guy on the plane every day taking the case right to the people. And I walk into Trump Tower every day, and I know that this man was very successful a long time before I arrived. And I think that good leaders just need people around them who provide an environment to let them be themselves. And I'm so glad that so much of America can certainly see the tough-minded, strong leader, future President Donald Trump. And I'm so glad so many of them can also see the very generous, very funny, very empathetic Donald Trump out there on the stump. You saw him with Jimmy Fallon, Dr. Oz earlier in the week. You see him giving very tough-minded, very tough policy prescriptions just this week in Florida, yesterday, North Carolina, today, Brett, on national security, saying immigration security is national security, laying out specific plans. So we're really happy that the response that we get from the electorate. Frankly, we're very happy with these tightening polls. My counterpart, Democratic campaign manager for Hillary Clinton, upped our chances of winning all the way to 40%, giving us some love yesterday.
Let me ask you about debate preps, because we are 6 days away, and we've heard a little bit from the candidate himself about this, but specifically what is happening. We see him on the trail. We see him at these events. He kind of jabbed Hillary Clinton on Twitter today for being off the trail and working on debate prep. What is he doing specifically?
He's doing many things. I mean, he prepares all of the time because he's a very brilliant businessman who's always taking in different pieces of information, weighing consequences and options. You saw him in the Commander-in-Chief Forum 2 weeks ago, Brett, where in all the post-forum polling, he clearly won. According to NBC's own polling, other polls, independent polls, said that he won that forum. And why? Well, because I think that his answers are very concise and confident. He gave answers to all the questions Matt Lauer asked him. He got 16 questions or 13 questions or so. Hillary Clinton received 7 because her answers are so lengthy, so lawyerly. We're not even sure if she's answered the question when she's done, or what in the world she's apologizing for or explaining away. So I think the Commander-in-Chief Forum was a very good preview for what you're seeing. But Mr. Trump takes the debate very seriously, and he's preparing in his own way, as are we all.
You know, he was on this show last night, and he told Bill that the moderators and the debates process is, quote, an unfair system. I mean, is he trying to work the refs here?
Well, we think that perhaps the refs are being worked after Matt Lauer was taken to the woodshed, apparently by his colleagues, but certainly by his colleagues in the broader mainstream media. I was shocked that they would blame Matt Lauer as if he's the one who set up a private email server in a closet, as if he's the one who said, I'm dead broke leaving the White House, and turned around and is worth $250 million somehow, not taking the company public, not hitting the Powerball, just having a foundation set up and being the Secretary of State and giving speaking speeches. So what we do, you know, he watches TV, we all do, and we see the way we're treated routinely by other journalists and other cable stations. We read the lower third, we read the chyrons. I mean, we had CNN yesterday, somebody inserted the word racial based on his interview with Bill O'Reilly, where he never said the word. Let's just insert it there for ratings and good measure. So we certainly hope that he'll be treated fairly, and if the questions are fair and people and the voters are respected, Brett, with questions about issues that they tell pollsters, including Fox News' own pollsters, what they care about, what they expect from and deserve from these two candidates, and I think it'll be a great debate.
Yeah, hopefully a lot of policy. We'll see. The Washington Post has a story in which it says, quote, Donald Trump spent more than $250,000 from his charitable foundation to settle lawsuits that involved the billionaire's for-profit businesses, according to interviews and a review of legal documents. It goes on from tax records to detail exactly what those payments were. What is the reaction to this story and the specific allegation that this may have been illegal?
Right, so in the second paragraph of that story, Brett, you'll notice that the journalist does say may have, and later on says the IRS or the authorities may look into it. So there's a lot of speculation and conditional language there. I would just point out very quickly for the viewers that in the one case, Mr. Trump was being fined on a daily basis by either the county or city of Palm Beach, Florida, because he dared to want to raise the American flag at about 80 feet. Way past what the limit was. So he was penalized for that, and the city settled and said, gee, if you just write a check for $100,000 to a veterans charity, which got that money from the foundation, then the lawsuit will go away. So let's make very clear to the viewers, a veterans charity received $100,000 because of that, and I'm sure that they benefited from it. And I want to make it clear, because this is in direct contrast to the Clinton Foundation, there's no one in the Trump family, including Mr. Trump, who takes a salary or benefits from the Trump Foundation. There's no permanent staff. There's no overhead. And that foundation for years, for decades, for many, many years, the only donor was Mr. Donald J. Trump. So others have contributed now, as they do. So I just want people to have the facts.
Yeah, we appreciate you addressing it. Thank you, as always, for coming on.